everybody's viral moment is not the same. And so when you feel like life is chaotic, you feel like you don't know what to do next, there is a power in a pause. There is a power in silence. There is a power in prayer. A lot of us do not know how to be still, and that's why we're so all over the place and don't know what we want to do. Just remember that, be in gratitude, because you think that, oh, I need this, I need that, I need these luxury things, I need all these things. And at the end of the day, when you lose all these things, they don't mean anything, if that makes sense. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Bianca B, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, make sure you guys check out my celebrity interviews, vlogs, and makeup tutorials. So today, we are in this culture of feeling like we are left behind. And what I mean by that is that we are rushing into things. We are rushing and wanting things quickly and not really enjoying our accomplishments, we're not in gratitude, I feel like, enough. And so with healing and going into therapy, I wanted to really talk about how you're not behind, you are right on time. So I kind of just want to give some tips on if you're feeling, I don't want to say the word stuck, because I feel like I've said that before in videos, but I often feel like people feel like they aren't doing enough and they feel like they aren't great. And I want to remind you that you are great because I was definitely someone who needed to be reminded of that. I was someone who definitely felt like I needed to rush everything, rush every project, rush everything. And I kind of just want to give some tips on how you should just take a minute and take a pause. And there's so much in taking pauses and being still for a minute. So I kind of just want to dive into that. If you don't know about me, I'm Bianca B. I am a celebrity talent booker. I'm an author, and I teach women how to be confident on camera. And so I really wanted to dive into this topic because I have worked in places. I've worked in New York. I worked in LA. I worked with a variety of networks. And if you want to Google it, you can just Google Bianca B and it will tell you my resume. This video is not about that. But working in these spaces, especially New York, I've realized that how competitive people are and how competitive and how fast and how we want instant right away and, make sure it's breaking news and make sure it's breaking. And, you want to be the first to do everything. You want the first to release, the first blog post, the first. And you have this anticipation of rushing things. And so there's so much value in taking your time and really stepping back for a moment, not rushing that relationship, not rushing that job opportunity, not rushing into projects that you didn't finish, not rushing into being an entrepreneurship because we really hone that in on people, not rushing into being a content creator. I am not saying be lazy and take a break and procrastinate. What I'm saying is you have to have a strategic plan and make sure that this is what's in alignment with your life at this moment. So I want to remind you that you're not behind, you are right on time. So the first tip is rejection is God's protection. I can tell you how many times in my career where I really wanted a job opportunity. I work in the film industry and it's a lot of ups and downs. I've been let go from jobs, projects stop. Like I've been through it in my career, and I will have to say that rejection, it's God's protection. I have experienced a lot of rejection in my field, a lot of, applying for jobs, almost there, but not quite there. Almost got that gig, but not there. And this is specifically for like hosts, anchors, actors, or anyone who has to deal with a lot of rejection. Remember that rejection is God's protection. Sometimes you are not ready yet. Sometimes God is protecting you from a toxic environment. Sometimes God is protecting you from something happening while you're there, or a company getting released a year later. You guys don't know how many times I've applied for jobs, did a second interview, and didn't get it. Somebody else got it. And then a year later, the show got canceled or the gig got canceled or there was bad press on that specific show. So I want to remind you that rejection is God's protection. There were so many opportunities that I really, really wanted, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And just remember that rejection is God's protection. You may not understand why, even relationships, right? I was dating somebody, and I was in this relationship for a very short period of time, probably like a month or two. And something, that red flag was like, nope. Next girl, he started beating their ass. Okay, so rejection is God's protection. You may think that, oh, you're in love with somebody. You may feel like, oh, this person is the one, but rejection is God's protection. The second thing I want to say is your path is not supposed to look like others. Your path is not supposed to look like others. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you are in college and you graduated from college this past summer, and everybody took the same classes. You're in the same major. A person didn't get an opportunity and you did. And that person may make more money than you, though, right? You may have got an opportunity, but that person may have got more money than you. And the reason why is because maybe they slept their way to the top, or maybe they knew somebody to get to that rate. So just know that your path is not the same as someone else's. We see that a lot with social media. There's so many TikToks. There's so many people wanting to go viral, to, be an Instagram influencer, a content creator. And we throw these words out there, but everybody's viral moment is not the same. Everybody's viral moment is not the same. So please stop comparing yourself to others. And I know I've stuck this in videos often. I say this a lot. It's because it's so true. It's so true. There is power in the pause. I'm going to repeat that. There's power in the pause. So what I mean by that is that there is power in silence. I took a break from the entertainment industry. When my job, I found out, I had moved to New York for the second time, and worked in the city. And I had got this opportunity. It was a huge opportunity. And the show got canceled. I found out on the internet, and I no longer had a job. And so I decided I was looking for work. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a pause from the industry. I'm going to take a break. I need to get my mental together. I need to make sure that I'm right and my mental health is right, because I feel depressed, which I'm normally not someone who falls too deep in depression, but I was super depressed. I was unhappy. I was unhealthy. I was losing so much weight. I was like feeling down. I wanted to end my life. Like I was not at a high vibration. And I said, you know what? Let me become a flight attendant. Let me take a break from this industry, because I'm starting to become unhealthy and not myself. And so when you feel like life is chaotic, you feel like you don't know what to do next, there is a power in a pause. There is a power in silence. There is a power in prayer. A lot of us do not know how to be still, and that's why we're so all over the place and don't know what we want to do. And I'm guilty of being one of those people. But there was so much power in becoming a flight attendant for me, because stepping away from the entertainment industry was very therapeutic for my mental health. And it helped me learn so much about myself, so much about patience, and to travel. Like, who doesn't want to travel the world, So it was good at taking a pause and taking a break from the industry. Society's timing is not everyone's timing. So, for example, I found love later in life. I found love later in life, in my 30s. And so, everybody has their own timeline. Everybody's timeline is not going to align with one another. Some people get married, find the love of their life at 18. Some people find it at 38. So just realizing that your timeline is your own timeline. Everybody has their own timeline, and we need to stop. It goes back to the comparison. Stop comparing ourselves to others. Be in gratitude. I feel like a lot of us are very ungrateful, and I was one of those people. I felt like I was supposed to move to New York to learn gratitude, because I feel like I was starting to get a big head. When I was living in LA, I was there from 17 up until, my later 20s. And New York humbled me. It was something I had to experience. Although I talk so much shit about New York. Let me sip to that. Although I talk so much shit about New York, it humbled me tremendously. It humbled me. I was starting to get a big head. I was starting to be like, oh, I'm interviewing all these celebrities. I'm around all these celebrities. I'm in the Valley getting coffee every day. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm a freelancer. And then when I got to New York, I realized, oh, wow, this is the real life. This is the real world. This is rugged. It is, no one's nice. No one's nice. And this is the real world. And so 28 to 30, I would say 27 to 30 were very pivotal years for me with growth. And it taught me so much about myself. 27 to 30 was very, very hard for me. But now that I look back, and I'm about to be 32 soon, and I look back and I'm like, I was supposed to go through this. Working in New York humbled the fuck out of me. Working in New York humbled the fuck out of me. And it made me realize, do I really love what I do? Do I love this as much as I say I do? It gave me tougher skin, but it also made me to realize to be patient with myself and to sit back and, just observe everything. It made me realize that everybody's not my friend. It made me to value my childhood and family relationships compared to industry relationships. And moving to New York taught me, working in New York taught me a lot. Just remember that, be in gratitude, because you think that, oh, I need this, I need that, I need these luxury things, I need all these things. And at the end of the day, when you lose all these things, they don't mean anything, if that makes sense. I'm going to repeat that. Sometimes when you have so many things, you realize when you lose all those things that you really didn't need all those things. When I moved to New York, and the first time when I moved to New York and I moved to Harlem, it was great. It was a blessing. It was lit. I was working for Mel Robbins. Loved her. Great show, great staff, great team. I would say that was my best experience in my career. One of the best experiences. And then moved back to LA. I was cool. And then I moved back and worked in the city, but lived in Jersey. And the second time around, it crushed me. It really did. It really humbled me because I realized, that everybody's not my friend. That was hard for me to realize, that everybody's not my friend. It taught me not to be as nice. But, it just taught me a lot. It taught me to just everybody's not my friend. This industry is really, really tough, super competitive for no fucking reason. I always say, I don't know if I would, at my next job, I don't think I would do entertainment. Yeah, no. It sucked the life out of me from 27 to 31. I'm 31 now, I don't think I will continue on doing it. I don't know, but I don't know God's timing. You know what I'm saying? But it really humbled me. And so we have to learn how to be in gratitude. Sometimes we think we want something really, really badly, and we don't appreciate what we have right now. Also, learn how to detach from people, things, social media when you need to. Really take a break for yourself and really get your mental health, because you have to be the best version of you when you show up into rooms, when you show up online, when you show up at work with your kids or whatever the case may be in your relationship. You have to make sure you're whole first. So make sure you're continuously working on yourself, getting in the gym, prayer, working out, whatever the case may be. So yeah, those are my tips. You're not behind. You're right on time. Just remember that. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at It's Bianca B. TikTok, It's Bianca B. Go to BiancaB.com. Go to shopBiancaB.com. Make sure you guys grab my books. I'm an author of 3 books, so make sure you guys check out my latest book, Resting Bee Face. And yeah, another Bee's Diaries. Another Bee's Diaries. So I just wanted to chit chat, kind of tune in with y'all. The last video did really good, a lot of engagement. So I want to keep on with this series, the Bee's Diary series. So yeah, it's your girl Bianca B. Make sure you guys follow me. Bye, guys.